Well, here we are then for what many people who are here today will be regarding as the big match, the match of the day. It pitches Leicester against Sumchanka, and basically Leicester need to avoid defeat in this game. Been chatting in advance to them, and they've said, Joe, that that's not the approach they're going to take, that it's about avoiding defeat. They're going to go out to try to win this one.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything less, really, would you? They showed great attacking intent yesterday when they beat the Spanish side, and they are the home team. The crowd has been growing steadily over the course of the day, and most of the people here have come to see the home side hopefully gain a place in the gold medal match tomorrow, unbeaten.
And the reality is, of course, that it could still all slip away from them. If Sumchanka were to win, and win well, they would go through. If Sumchanka were to win by, let's say, 1-0, and then Complutense comprehensively beat Royal Antwerp, Complutense could go through to the gold medal game, and that could see Leicester playing for 5th and 6th, which would be, well, unthinkable.
Well, it'd also be a travesty based on what we've seen over the course of the last 3 days. Leicester are definitely one of the top 4 teams here, and hopefully one of the top 2. All they've got to do is keep out the Ukrainian team. We watched them play yesterday where they notched a number of goals, Sumchanka, but the quality of their play didn't match the scoreline.
No, they won 6-1 against a very dispirited Royal Antwerp side. Here with just 13 players, I was said earlier that I was talking to their coach who said some of their second teamers and indeed a third teamer are in their squad. They're not necessarily going to be up for this match against Complutense later on, but just to focus on this one, then what do you think Leicester need to do?
They need to play like they played yesterday. They worked the ball well in every line. They worked hard, they closed players down, they provided options for the ball carrier, and importantly, they managed to penetrate the opposition's circle and created chances.
Well, I'm going to just run through the Leicester starting lineup, and then I'll ask you who we should be looking out for there. So Steph Tyrrell continues in goal. Josie Infidel, Joe Hunter, Kerry Whitehead, Katie Long, Lucy Barrett, Hannah Fair, Sarah Cockayne, Vanessa Hawkins, Emma Ross and Emily Kilner are the starting lineup. And who's your player to watch?
Well, several really. I mean, Ness Hawkins as captain leads by example. She showed great industry yesterday, worked really hard, great talisman for the club. Joe Hunter played well, certainly a great attacking threat, as is Kerry Whitehead. But I was really impressed yesterday by Hannah Fair and by Katie Long's work rate, their real graft and their ability to push forward, but also to get back and lead the defensive lines.
Okay, looking now then at the Ukraine team, the Sumchanka side. As I said yesterday, they were quite free scoring. In goal, they've got Tatiana Stapanchenko. And then from the back, they've got Yuliana Fadieva, Yevlena Moroz, who's their captain, then Yevgenia Kernos, Karina Matvienko, I think she scored a few goals yesterday, Yulia Shevchenko, namesake of the footballer, Alona Shatokina, Yana Sitalo. And it turned out, Joe, we weren't too sure about who'd scored that first screamer of a goal, and it was Sitalo who netted that. It was far end from us, wasn't it? Olga Golenko, she was on the score sheet yesterday as well. Helena Hlynenko, would you say that is? And then this is a really difficult one. Katerina Samokochenko. Yeah?
Well done.
Samokochenko.
Well done, that's a great effort.
I hope she's not on the ball too often. So, yeah, Sitalo looks busy. She scored a goal yesterday. Golenko scored yesterday. Matvienko has scored a few goals now. Obviously, losing their first match to Complutense 1-0. Leicester beating Complutense, taking a form line from that. We perhaps would be looking at a Leicester win, but it's never as straightforward as that, is it?
No, but bias aside, that they should be the team that wins this game based on what's happened in the previous 2 games. As we've said in every broadcast we've done so far, 3rd game in 3 days, tough ask. Leicester are a very different side this year to the one that qualified them for this tournament way back in 2013, but they've shown strength in depth. some of their youngsters, some of their players, perhaps not regular first team players, have stepped up and proved themselves to be worthy additions to the squad.
Yeah, 3 in the squad are England under 18 players. The starting goalkeeper, because of an injury to regular number 1 Mags Rees, starting goalkeeper Steph Tyrrell, has been Leicester seconds all season long, but has been great for Leicester seconds, and she did very well in the 2 games to date.
Yeah,
it wasn't
definitely
her fault that Complutense scored a goal yesterday.
No, and most impressive was on Friday when Leicester played their first game. She didn't know she was playing until very late on, and obviously that's no time for mental preparation. And with goalkeepers, traditionally coaches favour one goalkeeper. You tend to have one expert or experienced goalkeeper and a stand-in, and potentially that was the case with Rees, but Tyrrell stepped in, played really well, kept out the opposition generally, and proved her worth.
Well, we should try very, very hard to be as objective as possible over the course of this game. However, having said that, we're both Leicester through and through, and I know the result that each of us would like to see and the final that we'd like to see. So we already know that Ishmailova of Russia from Moscow are into that final, and whichever team they come up against from this group, from this pool, has got a tough game ahead of them, yes?
Well, we saw a fine performance from Ishmailova, the Russian side, against the Dublin team, Loretto. In the end, it perhaps wasn't as close as we thought it might be, but they're definitely going to be wanting to win that gold medal come 5:30 tomorrow afternoon.
So we're away, and Leicester start the game. Youngster Kilner is on the ball, plays it back to Lucy Barrett, cross to Josie Inverdale. Hannah Fair's out here on this right touchline, nudges the ball down the touchline to Jo Hunter. Jo Hunter takes a defender on, defender does well, to stick in there, it's a little bit of a clatter. Katie Long, but unfortunately Katie can only just knock that ball off the sideline. So the Ukrainians are on the ball. Number 22, Kerry Whitehead chasing back. Emily Kilner, the ball's transferred very well from left to right by Sumchanka. Number 12 on the ball, but that's a very good tackle from Leicester's number 12, Lucy Barrett. And here it is with Ness Hawkins. So at the moment it's Katie Long on her own, but that's not a good pass from Ness Hawkins, and it's behind Katie Long, and that little attack comes to nothing.
Interestingly, we said Sumchanka yesterday they scored lots of goals, but we weren't sure how good they actually were because the Antwerp side they were competing against weren't great. So it'll be interesting to see today if they lift their game with a better quality all around them, and it seems to be the case so far. Certainly they're playing with a greater tempo, more pace, and playing more as a team and less individualised than they were at this time yesterday.
Indeed, and they're into the Leicester half. They have a sideline ball, 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. The young ball patrol are doing their best to tidy that all up for the players, and it's with the Ukraine side for Sumchanka. It's coming across here to Golenko. Vanessa Hawkins tracking over, wanting to put them under a bit of pressure. And but they're playing that ball competently, aren't they? They're competently and confidently.
Yeah,
and then they give it away. They give it away.
Commentator's curse.
Here goes Katie Long. She's got a player tracking her, Ness Hawkins. That's coming back, hopefully to Katie Long, but despite the bounce, the umpire just allows that to carry on, gets out of the way. Here's the 24, and there's a little touch from Kerry Whitehead there. The 24, whose name is unpronounceable, Sumchanka. It's a good ball. Josie Inverdale steps ahead of her players. She plays a ball out to Lucy Barrett down the left-hand side. Emma Ross in midfield. And Kerry Whitehead is stopped by Sumchanka.
I mean, what's interesting is
she's
that
not 5. There goes Hannah Fair.
Ukrainian sides seem to have given the ball away quite often as they're moving forward, but actually the Leicester side are positioned really well. They've got a strong press and they're managing to take the ball and counter-attack.
It's an excellent press from Leicester at the moment. Good turn from Vanessa Hawkins. Surely that's a foul, but the umpire doesn't think so. And potential break for Sumchanka, but nothing coming from it.
I managed to not utter my disbelief at there not being a corner then. It certainly looked like she'd been obstructed in the circle, didn't it?
It certainly did. And that's well read by the Sumchanka team, and they pick it off. And I think that's Sitalo. who scored a very good goal, as I said yesterday. Bit of a worldie, bit of a screamer. Ross and Whitehead linking in midfield and trying to find Vanessa Hawkins. They don't succeed in doing that. Game's already, from the point of view of Sumchanka, quite stretched. Emily Kilner, the young player on the left-hand side, gets the stick rattle from Sutalo, and Leicester switch it. Coming around the back here from Josie Inverdale to Hannah Fair, and there's a bit of a block on there, but Jo Hunter does quite well, putting her opponent under some pressure. There's the number 23. 23 is Klinenko. And they do well there. The Sumchanka side do well to tidy up. And here's Emma Ross, centre midfield.
They have done well, but Leicester have started at an incredible pace, and the ball carrier always has options laterally and ahead of her.
Emma Ross is blocked off, and that's a penalty corner to Leicester.
Well, it was only a matter of time. They had a relentless pressure there, even though the game is only sort of 4.5 minutes old, and that's a just reward for that pressure and that intensity.
Okay, well, quite clearly what they could do with is converting this, and from the point of view of the spectators, they could do with converting this, couldn't they? Well, put everybody in positive frame of mind.
It's always easier if you score.
So there's the well masked up trio of Sumchanka defenders. Looks like Sutalo, who's very pacey, is going to be the number 1 runner. And they're moving it around, and that's hit the post.
Oh, that was such a well-worked corner.
Yeah.
The corner evaded the movement of the corner evaded the runner out. That was everything but score, wasn't it?
That was everything
Denied
but score.
by the woodwork.
Yeah, neat play between Fair and Whitehead. I think it was Fair that got the final shot in, but and maybe that's rattled Sumchanka, because Golenko has just made a bit of a bodge there. Jo Hunter takes it down the back line. Emma Ross. Oh, that's a little easy for the keeper.
Quick restart there. Quick restart there when the ball went out, and that Sumchanka weren't ready.
Messing. But now they're massed back. They're all of them back in their half. That's Emma Ross going down the byline. Still Emma Ross, a foot in the D, and it's all Leicester at the moment, Jo.
Yeah, it is, which is great. Great for the home crowd. Great for Leicester. They're just not taking their foot off the gas. And it's really important, because probably they can't keep this tempo up for 70 minutes, that they get something for their efforts and their possession. So scoring here would certainly put them in a good position.
Here we go. So a trap from Emma Ross. It's slipped to Josie Inverdale. Keeper does really well. Hannah Fair on the ball, that's another foot, and there's another penalty corner. So keeper did well then.
Great save, because not only did she get down and make the save, she actually used the strength in her right arm to move the ball away with her stick, hopefully clearing it out of danger, but too many Leicester players were around the D, forcing the corner. That's what they've moved the ball once around the runner, they've had a straight strike.
Let's see what happens this time. So that was the shot came in that time, didn't it, from Josie Inverdale? And she's over one of the strikes again. Ooh, that nearly got through to Katie Long.
I was interested in that. I'm not sure that Jessie quite knew what she was going to do. There was a bit of a hesitation.
There was. It looked as though she was looking to see what the defenders were actually going to do at that point in time.
But the shot went in, and it was deflected, unfortunately, just one. But you get any sort of touch around there with the ball moving at pace, and it can actually go anywhere. So I'm sure that Dave Mayer will be the happier of the two coaches at the minute, although he will want to see something on the scoreboard.
And Sumchanka looking to relieve some pressure, play that long and deep, but there's nobody in their team anywhere near it, and it goes harmlessly off the sideline. Inverdale and Cockayne playing it around between them back there. Again, looking to get a little bit of a gap, find some space, and they get it down the line to Lucy Barrett, who feeds it to Emily Kilner, but just out of Kilner's reach and off the pitch.
Good ball by Josie Inverdale. Didn't
was.
play the one that they were expecting, but played one with a different angle on it, and great ball pace.
Good pressure from Jo Hunter on the player on the ball. That's well done out of defence, to be fair. And unfortunately Emma Ross couldn't get out of Hannah Fair's way. Hannah doing some nifty skills, but Emma Ross in the path there. So back we go. It's with Sumchanka number 5, and they seem a little rattled.
Well, the ball was bouncing there, and we've seen a lot of misbapping of the ball. So
Long's through, and oh, that went right across the face of goal, and there was nobody there. Emma Ross catches that one on the ankle. That's looked painful. Hannah Fair, and that's gone through to Katie Long. Katie Long looking for Emma Ross. That's a good ball, and it's shielded and shadowed, but it's obstructed by the player. Emma Ross is feeling that blow to the foot, Joan. She's important to the team, isn't she?
She is.
She's a bit of a pivot player for them, and they go through her a lot.
She is feeling that, but she showed strength of character. She limped a bit, and then when the ball was on her way, she managed to get on and keep running.
And then had a little limp afterwards, which is how you'd want it to be.
Yeah, but hopefully, you know, she'll be able to play on through that knock. Sometimes it's just hurt.
Okay, Josie and Vidal getting a bit of advice from Dave May, the coach, which is probably just a number. They've probably got a routine that they are happy to stick to. And again, it's 2 castles as they term them these days. And that's gone to the first of the 2, Kerry Whitehead. And Josie and Vidal was looking for the ball back to Vanessa Hawkins there, I think, but it didn't get there. And that's gone off, and it's gone off Sumchanka. Emily Kilner on the ball, looking for Emma Ross. Emma Ross has company, but she gets that through to Kerry Whitehead. And a good touch by one of the Ukrainian girls, but a reverse stick shot from Katie Long, and it's given us a long corner.
It's a bit fast and furious, and
it is
one of the things that's making it so good and so effective is the quick restart with the ball patrol. Particularly, it just means that the ball is constantly in play.
That was another ball across the face, and nobody in the Leicester side gambling, really. It's perhaps fair to say that there have been times when Leicester could maybe have had one more player up front. They seem to be with 2 strikers at the moment. Cocaine steps up and tidies that up. Nice turn from her. Uses Cocaine, and I'm sure she doesn't use cocaine, but gets the ball out to Cocaine, who gets it to Lucy Barrett, and back to Josie and Vidal.
I think spelling. Yeah, they are only playing with two strikers up front, but we saw the Leicester bench watching Sumchanka play yesterday afternoon,
yes.
So they'll have seen an awful lot of goals go in. They want to score, but equally it's important that they don't concede.
And a lovely turn from Kerry Whitehead
to the sort of early stages of the first half.
Fair on the overlap.
That was good skills.
So Hunter to Fair, and that's off a foot, but it's play on. Oh, and that's gone across the face of goal as well. Everything but a goal, Joe.
So far, let's be positive. Only 12 minutes down, and they've had the better of the play. Sumchanka haven't looked that dangerous at the moment, but obviously
Katie Long's foot.
That possibility is always there, so it is crucial that Leicester, when they're in a period of ascendancy, do notch a goal.
It's off Katie Long again.
Great to see so many people here.
It is.
Helped by the weather, no doubt, and the smell of the hog roast.
The hog roast is appealing. Lovely ball from Kerry Whitehead to Jo Hunter, who feeds her again. That's just a little bit too fierce. Great idea, though. Here's Galenko on the ball. And Hannah Fair does well, but is adjudged to have kicked that. And quick start from Sumchanka. Number 9 carrying the ball down. That's their first foray, really, and it's given us against number 3, trying to just pinch a yard or 2 there. So they go backwards. And it's with Fadieva. Fadieva sweeps it in, and it's a long corner given.
Well, this is important, isn't it? Leicester have had the best of the first 10 minutes. They're now under the first bit of pressure they've had. They need to soak it up, make sure they don't concede, and then get back into being on top again.
Oh, and they've given that away. Hopefully Leicester can break. Here's Paz Massey. She's got a bit of pace. But, she turns herself into a bit of a circle there. Katie Long is on the ball, but this is Galenko. No, it's Moraz, the captain, tidying up. She looks quite a secure player back there.
Massey just didn't have that many options then. Leicester had committed to defending, and there weren't really that many orange shirts in front of her, giving her possibilities.
Great ball from Cockayne to Kerry Whitehead, and this is Emma Ross travelling and looking to link. She's looking for Emily Kilner. Emily Kilner gets stick tackled, and the umpire doesn't go. Sorry, not Emily Kilner, that's Jess Hickman. Jess Hickman gets stick tackled, but the umpire doesn't see it as that. So nothing for Leicester there. Vanessa Hawkins is back on, giving Katie Long a bit of a breather. Katie Long been very effective so far. Put a couple of really good balls across, but nothing's come of them. And that's a ball that's gone deep into Leicester territory. Nobody anywhere near it from Sumchanka. Emily Kilner comes off, and the other youngster, Lydia McDonnell, is on.
Great to see Dave Mayer keeping the tempo high by making substitutions, and he's got no worries about replacing some of the more experienced players on the bench with youngsters, and that will maintain a really high tempo, which Sumchanka will find difficult to cope with if it lasts for great periods of this game.
Kerry Whitehead trying to find Cockayne, but not managing to do it, but is fouled in the process. So Josie Inverdale putting a lot of pace on that ball out to Lucy Barrett, who gets it down the line, and here's Lydia McDonnell, confident young player. Back to Lucy Barrett. Barrett turns, nice turn from her, and Lydia McDonnell again, and she gets away from her player. Paz Massey is stick tackled. So that was 2 England under-18 players working together there for Leicester. And here's Lydia McDonnell on the ball. Yeah.
Great to see
a bit of a show from her teammates, and it's Vanessa Hawkins, the captain, who does that. But it's well defended.
Great to see players getting into the top, attacking 23, showing some flair, showing some skill, and going inside and out to try and evade the defenders.
Good defending there by Lucy Barrett, not letting Sumchanka build. They have a player over here on this side, Sumchanka, and it's 3v2 on the attack at the minute, but Hannah Fair definitely in charge of that one. So good pick up from Jess Hickman. Oh no, unlucky. Just ran away from her.
Great defending there by Hannah Fair. It looked like the ball was given straight to her, but in actual fact she was watching the line of the player running behind her, the forward.
Yeah.
She knew exactly where the player was and put herself between the player and the line of the ball, and that's good zonal defending.
So Galenka goes back to a skipper, who goes wide. I think that's Shevchenko over there. And Moroz playing it around between them at the moment, the number 22 Galenko and her captain, number 5 Moroz. And they've got that through, so that's number 3 Shokolenko. And it's a good attack here from Sumchanka. And they're in the D, but Lucy Barrett deals with that, and there's a blast. Number 12 is in the umpire's bad books, but that's all it was, is a free.
Got to say that the Sumchanka side, they scored loads of goals yesterday. I didn't think they were actually that good, but today they're playing really well.
They certainly are.
They're either playing to their capability or their level has been raised by playing a better team. And it's hard to know which of those two things is most likely.
Well, we're almost halfway through this game, Jo, and it's still 0-0, and Leicester's early attacking dominance now being questioned by Sumchanka, but they overhit that one. So,
well, yeah, Sumchanka are getting more of the ball than they had in the first 10 minutes. If we were neutral, we'd say that it's a better game for it. But I think, given the pressure that Leicester had in the first 10 minutes, it's unfortunate that it's still 0-0.
A couple of key players obviously having a bit of a breather for Leicester at the minute. And it's a good break by Sumchanka, trying to get that ball in. And over there at the moment, that's young Lydia McDonnell tidying things up. And getting past her player, doing very well. And getting fouled at the same time. So it's with Lucy Barrett. Leicester just needs to make sure that second isn't on the pitch. Good. Well, it's going through Emma Ross. Back to Lucy Barrett. And Emma Ross is quite deep as a pivot at the moment. And Sumchanka break up. They're doing quite nicely at the moment. And Steph Tyrrell lets that go because it was from way outside the D.
Like yesterday, Sumchanka are stepping up, so every time the ball carrier gets the ball, they're putting them under pressure and they've got a decent press behind, whereas yesterday they dropped off significantly. So they're denying the Leicester girls any time and space on the ball, which is making a big difference.
Unlucky for Pasmassi there. Good play by Hannah Fair, very strong, winning the ball. And Galenka goes back to her captain again. Seems to be a bit of a pattern of play here. And Morrow certainly seems quite a cool customer. And she finds Shokolenko at centre midfield. Bit of a clatter from Jess Hickman, but not pulled up for it. And that's gone all the way through, and that's going to be a... Oh, that's a Sumchanka ball, long corner for Sumchanka. And that's a good cross, and number 24's almost picked that up. She goes back to Galenko. They're moving the ball around well, Joe.
Well, moving it around well and with significant pace, which is trying to get the Leicester team out of position.
And that's Moros on the ball, who's their sweeper. And if Leicester can get this up the other end, she's well out of position. But no, they can't. So Moros now begins to retreat slightly.
Leicester won't panic though. You know, they were yesterday. They were tested and not found wanting. Still very early stages into halfway through the first half. And both teams picked up their games.
It's Josie Infidel shielding and protecting the ball at the moment, and it's coming away with Lydia McDonnell. She's looking for some support from Emma Ross, and she gets it. And it's Jess Hickman making the lead run for Lydia and for Emma. And Lydia turns inside, and she's getting a bit of a buffeting there. And Sarah Cockayne comes over to take the free. To Ness Hawkins. Ness Hawkins takes it back to Sarah Cockayne, and we start to build down the left-hand side with Emma Ross. And she's lovely skills from Emma Ross. And just outside, it's Leicester free. Skills from Emma Ross there. And she's put that through, she's put that in. And Moraz is around the back with it. Well helped by her number 20 there, Stetsenko. Jess Hickman's tracking her. Great step up by I thought that was a good take. She was very unlucky there.
Potentially blowing for a third-party obstruction.
Well, she blew for third party. She definitely blew for third-party obstruction.
But it was a good take.
I don't think that player was going to get past Hannah Fair there at any point. Hannah Fair was down. No, nice low flat tackle.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that the Ukrainian could argue she was being impeded.
It's a good link-up play by Sumchanka, but Lucy Barrett stops them.
I'll tell you what Leicester could do with. They could do with the crowd on the bank. Giving it some, and I don't think traditionally we're very good at hockey watching crowds.
No.
We don't ooh and ah necessarily as much as we might do. We saw some great support from the Loreto supporters earlier. I think the Leicester crowd need to give some
get in there and support their team. Yeah. And a little bit of a change for Leicester. Stacey Keeley has come for Hannah Fair, and Emma Ross has just gone off. So Leicester again trusting to their second string players, if you like. Lucy Barrett. Excellent play by Lydia McDonnell there. So we've got Emily Kilner on, we've got Lydia McDonnell on, and coming in at right defence, we've got Stacey Keeley for her first appearance in this competition. And on comes the number 9.
Well, you're only as good as your bench, aren't you? And if, as I said earlier, if you're going to maintain the tempo, although it's not bright sunshine, it's still very warm. And I know I keep harping on about 3 games in 3 days, but that does take its toll. You've got to be able to rotate your players, otherwise you're really going to struggle, particularly if you find yourself in a gold medal match tomorrow.
So Lucy Barrett goes back to the dependable Josie Infidel. She plays it through to Emily Kilner, but a bit of a heavy touch from Kilner, and she needs Josie Infidel to step in for her. And here goes Kerry Whitehead, but Kernos is going to get there first. Lydia McDonnell needs to track back now. And Cockayne reads that very well. And here goes Katie Long. She's almost certainly got the legs of all of this Ukrainian defence. And she has got past. And she's laid it across, but she can't find Jo Hunter. It's a great burst of speed by Katie Long, and that has got a response from the crowd. Here's to Tarlo.
Fantastic.
She's looking for the ball out to this side.
Katie Long there, fantastic athleticism.
Yeah.
Played the ball, threw herself at it to play the cross. Just a shame that the keeper was alert to it.
She left her opponent for dead there, didn't she?
She did. When she thought they were level pegging, just picked it up a gear.
That's swept forward by Sumchanka, and it's through. Oh, good recovery there by Stacey Keeley. At first I thought she'd lost that one, but she made a great recovery. It's gone across into the D. Steph Tyrrell gets it away, and here comes Kerry Whitehead. Now, can Leicester do anything now? Again, they've got pace, and Katie Long and Vanessa Hawkins. That's a terrible tackle. She gets away with that.
No, the umpire played advantage.
Yeah. And here she goes again, Katie Long. But this time, Moraz has read it and does very well. And the Ukraine side managed to come away with it, but Josie Inverdale recycles, gets it out here to Emily Kilner. Kilner's got Joe Hunter making a good run. Joe Hunter's got pace to burn. Can she get any change out of Galenko? No, Galenko reads it well. And Stacey Keeley steps up. That's played in behind Stacey Keeley. And Josie Inverdale tracking back. She's done a good job there. She turns well, and she's fouled. And it's with Kerry Whitehead. Kerry Whitehead with Vanessa Hawkins alongside her. Back to Kerry Whitehead. But Kerry Whitehead had company for that. That wasn't necessarily the pass that she would have wanted from her captain. But they ride that particular storm. So Josie Inverdale on the ball. Just a little bit of calm into the Leicester defence at this point in time. Out towards Lucy Barrett. She's going to use Josie Inverdale again. Josie Inverdale to Kane. Kane back to Josie Inverdale. That's a bit of a tricky one. Here's Kerry Whitehead. She's under pressure, but she does well. Lucy Barrett is getting a tricky one too. The Sumchanka side is stepping up well, making it hard. It's got to be a perfect pass to evade them. But that's good work from Joe Hunter, but it's gone against her.
Yeah, they are stepping up well, and they're anticipating what Leicester are doing. I can't believe actually that 25 minutes of the game has gone. It's just been fast and furious, end to end.
And Sumchanka get through, and they're in behind Leicester at the moment. They've got a player over, and that's hopeless really. That's fortunately for Leicester, that's gone behind.
In the last 10 minutes, they've looked more and more dangerous, haven't they?
Sumchanka?
Yeah, they have. Yeah. And although they've had a player over there, Leicester were alert to it, but a ball through could really make it quite interesting.
Okay. Sarah Kane, across to Josie Inverdale. She's got Stacey Keeley down here on the right-hand side. This is Keeley advancing. And that's gone off Stetsenko over the sideline. Pasmasi on to give Katie Long a breather. Now 2 balls on the pitch. We go back to Josie Inverdale. That's Cocaine down the left-hand side. Does well. A little touch from Sumchanka, so Lucy Barrett has the ball. Just need a little bit of magic from somebody, don't they, at this point in time?
Yeah, they do, and there's been glimpses of it, haven't they?
And there's Stacey Keeley. She gets a decent touch, but it only gives it to Stetsenko. And Josie Inverdale has a little kick at that one, and it's with Sumchanka in the danger area. Hannah Fair is about to come back on and give Stacey Keeley a break, but
she's done well, Stacey Keeley.
Yeah.
One crucial tackle down in the circle. That'll give her confidence if she's needed again at any point.
That's gone through. Inverdale is calm there. Ness Hawkins shields it, gets a stick tackle, feeds it through, and here's Jess Hickman. Who's Hickman got, and what's she going to do with it? Here's Pasmasi. She's got pace as well. She comes inside her opponent, but she's let too much of that ball be seen by the Sumchanka side. And Inverdale turns beautifully, feeds Kilner. Kilner, unlucky for Kilner, she's touched that with her foot first, so Stetsenko. And nice feed from Sumchanka. They're coming back here with Golenko. And there's space down that right-hand side at the moment. Stacey Keeley looking for Jess Hickman, but it's the Ukrainians who are in charge for a few minutes.
Although the Leicester press is looking good. The last time the Ukrainians had the ball, they managed to get it as a result of the press, and there again, good positioning.
And here's Emily Kilner, but Emily Kilner just a little slow there, but she's recovered it, and she's able to play it back to Stacey Keeley. And that goes through. Jess Hickman is there. It's Sitalo not listening to the umpire, and the ball is back with the Leicester defence. So Hannah Fair comes back on. Emily Kilner coming off for Kerry Whitehead to come back on. Leicester pretty much back to full strength. Ball fed to Vanessa Hawkins. She's looking for Emma Ross there. Emma Ross is fouled. Yeah, and that is a penalty corner. These Ukrainians don't like it, but the umpire is sure that she's made the right decision. She's backed up by her other umpire. And so you've been keeping track of penalty corners, Jo. Is this number 5?
I think it is, yeah. Number 5, and nothing thus far to show for it. So
struck the post from the one that was worked.
But you can't see that on the scoreboard.
No, and that's all that counts. It's a bit of an issue back here for Sitalo. Know what she's managed to do. You know, eye area, contact lens.
Face mask, I don't know. You don't want to talk in cliches, but
Are you sure?
I'm quite good at it. But this would be a good time to score. 5 minutes from half time, and Leicester actually have been under a period of pressure for the last 8 or so minutes. So if they could get something positive out of this corner, it would definitely put the Ukrainians under a bit more pressure.
It would, and get Leicester back into the ascendancy on the scoreboard as well as on the pitch. So it goes from Hawkins, Ross stops it, it's another hesitation, but this time it's back in, and that's Nessie Hawkins on the rebound, getting the deflection.
Was it
interesting. Well, no, not the rebound, but the straight deflection.
Yeah. Well,
interesting the way that was held by Josie Inverdale.
Second time, she looked to have huge amounts of time. Nobody was there closing her down. She was looking to make sure Ness Hawkins, the injector, had moved into that post.
Yeah.
Great touch into the top corner. Hopefully that will settle some nerves.
So Leicester lead, and Shokolenko on the ball to Stetsenko, and Jo Hunter puts Kurnos in under pressure. This is Moroz, who's looked very steady so far. Only embarrassing moment was when Katie Long left her absolutely for dead, and that's gone through. Fair, strong challenges back there. Josie Inverdale comes away with the ball. Kerry Whitehead links with Fair, and Jess Hickman's making the run, but that's well seen by Sumchanka, and they take that ball off, and Kerry Whitehead's pressure pays off.
Breathe. 4 minutes to go till half time. 1-0 to Leicester in the orange shirts. The Ukrainian side have done really well, actually. I think they've given far more than I expected, certainly after yesterday's game, despite their 6-1 scoreline.
Oh, I think I knew there were no mugs, Jo, but they've certainly shown that if Leicester are anything other than fully concentrating, they can score. But they've made an error there. So that's number 6, Jo Hunter. Jess Hickman makes the lead. Can she get anything out of this? Only a long corner, but that was a good lead by Jess Hickman.
And a good ball.
Good ball from Hunter. Here's Pasmassi on the ball.
And it keeps pace on. They're still in the attack in 23.
That wasn't great from Pasmassi, to be honest with you. It was given away very cheaply. Sumchanka build, but Massi did well to get back in the way there.
And also Sumchanka, they're not giving them any time and space anymore. So you've got to be really savvy. You almost know what you're going to do before you get the ball to have any chance to put together a string of passes.
Oh, well picked out by that's a bit too light from Jess Hickman, and she's got to do better than that.
Well, the better option.
Here they go, they're playing advantage, and the number 12 is going through for Sumchanka. The number 12 is Shatakina. Shatakina on it again, and she crosses, but that's very well seen by Hannah Fair, who just basically makes the block and the ball goes off the back line.
I mean, the better option there might have been to play the straight pass ahead of her to Jo Hunter, but it just shows how quickly the game can turn around.
Great touch from Emma Ross, and here goes Jo Hunter, Has she got the pace?
Oh look, Katie Long's just come on.
And Katie Long
bench.
off the bench,
Diagonal
straight
run.
up there. Finish it, Katie. Finish it, Katie. Come on.
Good goalkeeping.
Excellent goalkeeping.
Held her up.
And Katie Long having a fling of herself at the ball. She's asking questions to the umpire, but the umpire has the wrong answers as far as Katie is concerned. That's a lovely piece of play by Josie Inverdale stepping up, but Hannah Fair's got company. But being lent on. Simple ball, so Jess Hickman's on it. She lays that down the line, but not strong enough really to give Katie Long a chance to get there. But that was a great run by Katie Long and a good spot by, was that Jo Hunter who fed her?
Jess Hickman.
Jess Hickman.
She just picked the ball up with her feet going the wrong way and had to turn to get her feet round before she could play the pass.
That's Cockayne on the ball. And that's Cockayne wins it again off Shakalenko.
Right now though, with a minute and a bit to go, Leicester don't have to rush.
No.
They just need to make sure they don't make any mistakes that are going to cost them anything in terms of the lead.
And here's Fair on the ball. Neat play between Fair and Cockayne, and now Whitehead. And this is Sitalo closing Whitehead down. And Whitehead wins the sideline ball.
Well, she's showing all her experience there, isn't she? She's not giving a foul away. She's letting them tap the ball off the pitch and making sure that Leicester keep possession.
Well done by
keep the ball.
Sarah Cockayne there. She slight misfield, but then she did very much the right thing with it, didn't she?
Well, they're obviously trying to keep the ball just in the corner, playing out time.
And again, so we're looking at just about half a minute to go. And here's Whitehead. And Cockayne on the ball. That's a great ball through. Anything coming of that? No, that's a defensive ball. They're going to struggle to get down the other end and into the D in 15 seconds. Possible.
It is possible, and what's impressed me about the quality of this game is the speed. Down at 1:23, and then not very many seconds down at the far end, but for this half.
So there we have it, a 1-0 lead to Leicester. That's pretty much what we'd have been hoping for, Jo.
Yeah, and
with trying to be objective. Has it been a good game?
I think Leicester are definitely the better team. They've certainly shown that, apart from one 8-minute spell, 8 or so minute spell in the middle. But they've shown real intent, they've shown desire, they've shown the ability to accelerate and attack with real incisiveness. And thought they might be disappointed to go in at a half-time 0-0 because they had their chances, but in the end, got a touch on the ball and scored a great goal, Ness Hawkins. And
that's the second goal that Nessie Hawkins has scored from that ball back to the injector. So at this point in time, Leicester scored twice against Royal Antwerp, both from penalty corners. Twice against Complutense. They scored both of those from penalty corners. They score any in open play. Trying to remember. Yeah, no, Kerry Williams scored a backhand in open play, didn't she?
Really good goal.
So scored from open play.
Well,
but then every goal, you know, whether it's from a penalty corner or in open play, it's equally valid, isn't it?
I don't think we can be critical of the fact they haven't scored from open play, because there for another 2 centimetres or a stick in the right place, they could have scored a hatful of goals. The ball's got across the face of the D on more than one occasion. We just haven't quite got anybody there to put it into the back of the net. But they've done really well. They've weathered the storm. They've showed that their defence is more than capable, and they've had probably 60% of possession, 60-40 maybe.
Definitely. So we've got two Twitter quotes here from Liz George and Holly Payne. Both of those players might be quite interested in Leicester hockey next season, I believe. But Liz George says, "Good luck today at Leicester hockey," with a big exclamation mark at the end of it. Well, thank you very much for that, Liz. At the moment, they are leading, so we're optimistic. And Holly Payne says, "Trying to watch 2 games of hockey starting at the same time," because obviously she's got one eye on the World Cup. Holly Payne quite close to the England women's setup. Trying to watch 2 games of hockey starting at the same time. Massive good luck to both England women and Leicester. Of course, we've got no idea at this point in time how England women are doing. We're going to stop, have a little break in a moment, and we'll perhaps take a little look on the phones to see what the scoreline coming through from the Hague is. But if you were Dave Mayer now, what would you be saying to your team, Jo?
I'd be saying it's good, but we've got to keep going. We've got to make sure that we are competent at the back, solid at the back, don't do anything silly, and we've really got to try and make our possession in the top quarter of the pitch count.
Okay. But does there come a point where if the scoreline stays like this, that he starts thinking about tomorrow, or can he not think about tomorrow until this game is won?
I don't think really you can rest on a 1-0 lead, and I think resting players now would be a bit foolish because you don't know what's going to happen. And we saw yesterday that the Ukrainian side can score goals, so all they need is 2, and suddenly Leicester are in that gold medal match. So no, they'll be looking at this game. He's a very attacking-minded coach, and they'll be looking for more than a 1-goal win.
The Sumchanka girls look as though they're pretty fit, so I think any hope that they might fade in the second half, we can't really be relying on that. Sumchanka are a decent fit side.
Yeah, and they played well. I've been impressed with them today, and I know you said that you thought there were no mugs. I'm not saying I did, but they seemed to score goals out of not very much yesterday, whereas today they've showed that they can sustain their play, that they can defend, and they've worked hard all around the pitch.
Well, thanks for that, Joe. And so just to sum up then, it's 1-0 here in the third match of the day, the final pool game for both Leicester and Sumchanka, and at the moment it's going Leicester's way and they lead 1-0. Okay, well, here we are at Loughborough University. If you were listening in the first half, you'll know that Leicester Hockey Club are leading Sumchanka of the Ukraine by a 0-0. Goal scored at a penalty corner by their captain, Ness Hawkins. I'm Gaynor Nash, and I'm being joined in commentary today by Joe Mould, former Leicester hockey player and captain and Olympian. Tight at half-time, Joe?
Yeah, in terms of the score, tight. Leicester finally scoring, but they have been the better team. But the Ukrainian side, Sumchanka, they're not out of it yet. And of course, a draw would be probably enough for Leicester. But best that they would think about that and forge ahead, trying to score more goals.
Well, we know that a draw would definitely be enough for Leicester. They're on 10 at the moment, as are Complutense. Sumchanka are on 5.
Can I just say for anybody
no, sorry, they're on 6. Scoring system, Joe, yes,
yeah,
please.
if anybody's tuned in for the first time, because I was a bit thrown by this. It's 5 points in this competition for a win, 3 points for a draw, but then in an interesting twist, to try and perhaps promote more attacking hockey, perhaps not have to come down to goal difference to determine standings. If you are within 2 goals of the other team and you lose by less than two goals or less, you gain a point.
Yeah, and so because Sumchanka lost by just 1-0 to Complutense, they're actually already on 6. They beat Royal Antwerp and they lost by just the 1 to Complutense. They're on 6 points, Leicester on 10. So if Complutense were to well, they could be on sorry, they are on 6, but they could be on 11 if they were to win this game. If they draw this game, they're only on 8, yes?
Yeah.
Or 9, no, 9, isn't it? They're on 6. 3 for a draw, did you say?
Yeah, 3 for
9.
a draw. It's complicated.
It's awfully confusing.
But ostensibly, Leicester just need to win to top the group, to win all the game. Can I just say that for anybody who's listening or watching us, if they're interested in the England score, England playing Argentina today in Holland. It's 1-1 at half-time with Alex Danson, the scorer from a penalty corner.
Oh, thanks for that, Joe. And Emma Ross on the ball, feeds it back to Josie Inverdale. That's a stick rattle on Josie Inverdale. I think that was wrong. That was given for Inverdale's foot, but I think it wouldn't have ended up on a foot if a stick hadn't been taken.
Not that
I'm biased.
Biased or anything. Or wearing orange-coloured glasses.
So it's a Sumchanka ball on halfway. Just while the ball's back in the Sumchanka defence, we've been trying to give you a little Twitter updates when we get them. And somebody called Michael Dodds has tweeted for Vanessa Hawkins, really. Nice deflect, Nessie, just your distance. And then hashtag pucker up. So he's obviously wanting the orange team here to win.
Goal, whether you score it from 16 yards or you score it from 1. Just saw there behind us Mary Neville, former Leicester player, Great Britain captain, bronze medal winner from the 92 Olympics. Hopefully we'll get a chat with her at the end of the game. This pavilion here at Loughborough University was opened by her.
It was indeed.
So the game hasn't started with perhaps the tempo that it finished with, but really, Sumchanka have got to get hold of this game if they're going to get anything out of it.
And Emily Kilner leaves it to Hannah Fair. Hannah Fair feeds Joe Hunter. Lots of hacking there. I think there's going to be something going on here. One of the Sumchanka girls is going to go and have a sit down. And it's Fadieva, the fullback, who's going to the bench. The minutes, here's Emily Kilner attacking the edge. She links Kerry Whitehead. Kerry Whitehead attacking the D. It's Katie Long, lays it in. That's a foot, unfortunately, just outside. In the umpire's opinion, Dave Mayer, Leicester coach, thinks it was well inside. So here goes Kerry Whitehead attacking the circle. She lays it back. That's Kerry Long across. And Joe Hunter retrieves. Attacks the Sumchanka defence. Protects the ball well. But just carries it over the baseline there. Good attack?
Yeah, good attack. And good to see that Leicester are still going forward in the way that we suggested they might when we just came back onto air. For anybody who is just tuning in, maybe because they want to see how Leicester do or they want to see how Sumchanka do, just to remind everybody that this is their third game in 3 days. The weather has been kind, which is great for spectators, but it also makes it quite draining for the athletes. And great to see such a high-pitched tempo game, really.
Yeah. We're going back across the pitch with Josie Inverdale. Leicester getting good pace on the ball when they're they decide they need to move it. Kane down the line. That's Joe. Joe Hunter can't keep it in. So it's up in the right area of the pitch for the Leicester fans to breathe a little easier. But, it's across to the Ukrainian, the Sumchankan captain, Moroz, who's a very good player, very solid player. And Sumchanka have the ball. Remember, they've got just 10 on the pitch at this point in time. Fullback Barieva is having a little rest. And that's Emily Kilner winning that back. Emma Ross on the ball. She's got company. And going across into the middle to Kerry Whitehead, who's got a little bit of space. Feeds it forward to Nessie Hawkins. Nessie Hawkins has got Katie Long up there. But that's a good bit of protection of the ball. Oh, that's wild, really, from the Ukrainian player. But the umpire puts a hand up for advantage. And that's awful. It's a short corner. That player is definitely going to go off for a breather. And that's probably going to be yellow, yes. So it's a good 5 minutes on the sideline for the player who made that rather awful tackle, trying to work out who she is at the moment, in this moment in time.
Well, the umpire, of course, can give a penalty corner and a card for an infringement outside the circle if they deem it to be bad enough or, in fact, deliberate. And that was probably a combination of the two.
Yep, that's the number 9, and the number 9 is Matvienko. And she's actually quite a dangerous player up at the other end of the pitch. So, A, will be hoping to capitalise on this opportunity. B, they'll be glad that she's not around for the next 5 minutes or so. So Katie Long with the injection. Two Castles again. Goes to the second one, and it's Hannah Fair. Very well defended by Sumchanka, but Fair's back onto it. And Sumchanka win that. Interesting work with the face mask there.
Well,
what's the rule about that? How far can you go up the pitch wearing a face mask?
Well, I didn't think they could go outside the 23, but clearly you can, because she just did. But that was first breaking play, wasn't it? First opportunity she had to take the face mask.
That's a bit of a clatter from Leicester. They've got to be careful. Don't want to go down to 10 players themselves. So Farieva back on, obviously, and she goes back to Moroz again, the captain. And she's going across to Galenko, but doesn't do a good job of that. And Joe Hunter immediately goes onto the attack. Tries to link with Nessie Hawkins, succeeds in doing that. Nessie Hawkins to the back line, and she's fouled, and that's a penalty corner again.
One of the things that's been great about Leicester and has made them look so dangerous is their speedy, nippy forwards and a turn of pace, which is really leaving any defence having to turn and get back and challenge them, and that's why they are making so many bad tackles. But again, despite the tweet from Michael Dodd, Vanessa Hawkins there showing that she can do more than just stand a yard out and put the ball in. And I said at the start, she's a great talisman for Leicester. You know, seeing her be so industrious and so effective can only be a really good thing for the rest of the team.
So here they go then, it's Katie Long again on the injection.
Again, aren't they, with their face masks?
Yeah, they are. This looks like just the one trap this time. Emma Ross over the ball, Hannah Fair in behind her. And Hannah Fair plays it in, and that's gone up and over, off the keeper, and a bit of a high five for the keeper there. Her own defenders are pleased with her for that. And Emma Ross is tackled. Kerry Whitehead onto the ball. Joe Hunter. But, strong stuff in here from Sumchanka. A couple of sticks left in there.
Yeah,
and,
but great to see Leicester being equal to it. Not in the sense that they're retaliating anyway, but they're not allowing themselves to be bundled off the ball by that strong physical challenge.
And Whitehead picks up. She's got company. Bit of a tame shot, ball in towards the D, but Cocaine sees it, and Shetsenko puts it. I think that's Shetsenko over there putting that one out, unless it's the number 24 who's got the very complicated name.
You've tackled it. You're good at it.
Sumchanka.
Well done.
How about that? That's probably horribly wrong, but it's an effort at least.
It's your best stab, isn't it?
Yeah. So Leicester showing composure. Obviously at the moment they've still got this advantage of one player being off the pitch for a little extra time. And Lucy Barrett composed there. Shakalakalenko comes off. Nicely down the line by Sarah Cocaine, and it's Joe Hunter using that pace again, getting right down the back line. And good strong defence by Galenko, I think that was this time. Oh, well robbed by Nessie Hawkins. And again, another good tackle. This one's that was definitely Galenko. So it probably wasn't Galenko previously.
Well, Leicester keep being broken down, but they keep turning it back around again, and they're keeping the ball. They're definitely the stronger team in the sort of 9 minutes or so that we've had so far. And of course, it's Sumchanka's job to chase the game.
It's a great piece of play from Josie Inverdale. I'd have thought that was a slight clatter of Nessie Hawkins' stick there, but the umpire in favour of them. So Hannah Fair's pulled up for a foul there, and immediately Sitalo drives, and she links up with the player on the left-hand side. Kerry Whitehead is taken out of play. Good piece of play there by Jo Hunter coming back.
Great to see so many orange shirts back. Great to see the effort that the team are putting in, defending as well as committing to attack.
Kerry Whitehead on the ball, doing really, really well. Past Massey trying to get ahead of her to give her some options there, but at this point in time not coming her way. Emma Ross, who's very calm there, feeds Cockayne. Cockayne to Massey. Massey holding the ball out there on the touchline, gets it back to Cockayne. Cockayne again being calm, but there's a good touch in there by the Ukrainian girl. Josie Inverdale, which way is she going to go? No, she's getting a little rattle there. And so her strength on the ball there, winning through in the end. We've still got a player, and that's unfortunate for Lucy Barrett because that wasn't so bad. We've seen
worse, haven't we?
We've seen worse than that.
I was just thinking with Emma Ross, with Josie Inverdale, how well they're doing, but then it would be difficult to follow any of the Leicester players. And I know that we're both wearing orange, but they've done really well. They've really stepped up, and whichever combination of players has been on the pitch, they've been worth their place.
Certainly have. And Matt Bianco's back on, so Sumchanka back up to full strength. And Sarah Cockayne steps up. Kerry Whitehead now. Cockayne and Whitehead working well together. Inverdale doesn't want to get caught by that number 12 over there.
When they're moving the ball around the back like that, though, I don't feel ever so nervous. They look comfortable. They look composed.
Yeah, be careful now.
And got good ball pace.
Don't you go saying the wrong thing, please. That's picked up by the number 24. And it's out to Fadieva. Jess Hickman tracking over, trying to restrict her chances. And it's Emma Ross who pinches that. And Emma Ross has got support from Jo Hunter. Jo Hunter's gone. She's going down the middle. Great pace from Jo Hunter. She slips it to Jess Hickman. Can Jess Hickman get it in? And no, but Jo Hunter nearly can. And unfortunately,
I wonder
there.
Jess Hickman did really well. She stretched the game. The pass was ahead. She was impeded clearly by the goalkeeper, and the umpire must have thought that she wasn't going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Or it was going to fall to another Leicester player. But that was a great attack. A great example of how a lead run. In the first instance, Jess took the player away, which created space for Emma Ross, and then got the second ball on the re-lead. Good attack.
Nice play by Sarah Cockayne and Kerry Whitehead there, but Cockayne getting herself in a bit of a mess there, and it's Sumchanka who have the ball. Massey trying to make it a bit tricky for the Sumchanka side, for Shokolenko. It's back with Moroz. They've got to keep the tempo up here. Don't let the Sumchanka team begin to get a grip on this game. That's Sitalo on the ball, and misplaced pass, so Josie Inverdale is able to launch Kerry Whitehead. Kerry Whitehead looking for a forward ball, but not getting quite the run that she was after there. And again, being messed about there by, that was Shatakina who did that. Josie Inverdale plays it long. Jess Inverdale not able to get on the, Jess Hickman not able to get on the end of that. That's a nice bit of build-up from Sumchanka. Lydia McDonnell comes back to watch Shevchenko. Sitalo on the ball. She's going the right way from a Leicester point of view, having to go backwards. So Fadieva going back to her sweeper, Moroz. Leicester dropping into half court here.
Yeah, and they did that in the previous attack, and they managed to nullify it. And it's just a question of being disciplined and working out when to break and when to put the player under pressure.
And again, Moroz is looking for a gap. She finds a gap with Sitalo there, but Sitalo's got company. Fadieva on the ball. And that's gone off. The 15, Sarah Cockayne.
Yeah, she couldn't do much about at, could she?
No, so
it was coming at her and she just managed to bat it off the ball, off the back line.
So Sitalo, who looks quite a nice, tricky little player over there. She's looking for something. She gets another short corner, this time Emma Ross just covering up there. And again, she's looking for something. And Lucy Barrett does very, very well there. Hannah Fair gets tackled. And that's composed play by Leicester, isn't it?
Good defending, nothing silly, not putting a stick, not costing any infringements, just waiting for to make the error.
And not a lot of messing around in terms of getting the ball forward. So this is Hannah Fair going down the right-hand side. She gets a little bit of action from Katie Long there. I think Katie's going to be pulled up for that, going into the body of her opponent. Once again, looking to try to exploit her speed there against the Ukrainian girl, but not given that chance. Pasmasi gets a touch. Sumchanka have to go backwards again. Leicester drop back into that half-court situation with Nessie Hawkins and Katie Long leading the spearhead. Fadieva on the ball. Fadieva looking for support. She gets it from Sitalo. But Sitalo having to go backwards. Bit of lateral work from Sitalo in the end. Back to Moroz. Moroz looking for the gaps. Leicester will be hoping there aren't too many. Okay, there's Kurnos there. That's gone high and almost through to the high player there.
Almost. Just to reiterate then, Sumchanka 1 goal down.
Yes.
They're losing. A draw is not enough for them. If they have any chance of being in the medal match tomorrow, they need to win this game.
That's correct.
Leicester, a draw will still put them into the
gold medal match.
But they look like the team.
Here's Katie on the ball
with a greater desire to score again at the moment.
And that's gone behind Lydia McDonald. She would have not been wanting to have to turn and go backwards. And it's Sumchanka that come away with the ball. That's a shame because that was a good opportunity for Leicester there. And
another example of a really good, quick break from defence.
Kerry Whitehead is the free player. She feeds Josie Inverdale. Josie Inverdale out to Hannah Fair. Hannah Fair looking for Emily Kilner down the line, or even going further down the line to Pasmasi. But Pasmasi unable to keep it in.
The Leicester folk at the back have been really good in moving that ball around, I think, transferring it with confidence, a great ball pace.
And Josie Inverdale steps up again there and does well. That's Katie Long. Katie Long taking them on, and she's through. The keeper again makes a very good stop. This is a good keeper.
Yeah, ball just ran away from Katie there, didn't it? She didn't quite get a chance to move it in any way, and the keeper came out very proactive and made a good save.
Sarah Cockayne very watchful there with Shevchenko in her area. Kerry Whitehead looking to connect with Vanessa Hawkins. Ness Hawkins out to Emily Kilner. Emily Kilner making a bit of ground.
But a great build-up from the back. No panicking, no hitting and hoping. Playing the ball out by moving it around.
So here we go. This is Inverdale to Lucy Barrett. Lucy Barrett is caught and has to get out of the way. Out of the way, Lucy. And in the end, it's just high and hopeful. Barrett trying to convince the umpire there that the Sumchanka girl had gained a few yards. But to be fair to umpires, they do give players a couple of metres, don't they? They don't always want it to be taken on absolutely the tuft of turf that the foul took place on.
I think the good thing about this game is, so far, we haven't mentioned the umpires.
Yeah.
And that means they're doing a good job. And they're doing what a good umpire should do, is get on with it without being the main attraction.
This is a good press, though, isn't it, by Sumchanka? They're really putting Leicester under some pressure, making Leicester work.
Leicester are definitely the team in control.
So Sarah Cockayne finds Emma Ross.
I mean, they worked the ball well there, didn't they?
Certainly did. Now they've got the freedom of the right-hand side now for a moment. But Hannah Fair doesn't play a good ball there. But fortunately, she's got support from Josie Inverdale, who tidies up.
Unforced errors are rare from Leicester.
They are. Halfway through the second half, Joe.
Gosh, that seemed to go very quickly, and I think that's a good sign of a good game too. Leicester are the better team.
Katie Long, a nice turn there, and she's away.
Sumchanka are contributing, aren't they?
They certainly are. It's a great game. It's a great game. Here goes Nessie Hawkins down the middle. She's got Katie Long with her. There's Katie Long out there. Katie Long is now into the D, gets a reverse stick in. Surely it's a goal. The goalkeeper's there. And that's hit the back of Pasmassi's leg. And realistically, Pasmassi should have put that away.
It's a good first save from the effort from Vanessa Hawkins, but then the keeper did really well with her right hand, showing some strength to stick to actually move the ball away. So I think the keeper did really, really well then, because odds on, it should have been a left goal, shouldn't it, to double their advantage.
I guess so. So we're back with Moroz again, who's very tidy back there, off to her left defence. Oh, I'd have said that was high in the air, but it's not given, which means that Sumchanka have an opportunity. They're attacking, but that's dealt with quite tidily there by Lucy Barrett and by Hannah Fair. And the foul is drawn, and that's a relief for Leicester. Pascal Massey comes off, pacey Joe Hunter comes on. I think Hannah Fair is going to get a breather in a moment, and Jess Hickman's going to go slotting in at right defence. You
almost sound like you could do with a replacement out of breath. There's been so much going on, so much to talk about.
That's Lucy Barrett through Kerry Whitehead in midfield. Kerry Whitehead does very well.
Has she been
lovely. I don't know whether she has actually. I think if she has, it's only been momentarily.
She's showed great work right then, great fitness.
Kilner gets it to Ross to Whitehead to Hawkins. Hawkins gives it away, unfortunately. And Matvienko out here. Whitehead does well. I think she's protected her legs well enough and that she hasn't given that away, but the umpire disagrees with her. So we're into the last quarter of an hour of this game, and Leicester lead. That's good enough to get them into the gold medal game as things currently stand. So Sumchanka spreading it around a bit, and that's a good piece of play by Lucy Barrett, and that's way wide by Matvienko, fortunately for Leicester. A rare bit of misjudgment at the back.
Yeah, possibly, and the number 9 there for the Sumchanka, she actually made something out of nothing, didn't she? Didn't have many options. Great that she managed to turn and get some sort of shot off on her backhand, but it was well wide.
A neat play between Emma Ross and Josie Inverdale out there. They're obviously waiting for Jess Hickman to get into position so that she can take the role that Hannah Fair was playing. Lucy Barrett finds Kerry Whitehead. That's a lovely ball. Whitehead has options out here on the left-hand side with Joe Hunter. Joe Hunter being trapped by Farieva. Joe Hunter to Katie Long. Katie Long's into the circle. That ball goes across, and well, a lot of us would think that was a penalty corner, but not the umpire down that end.
I think
seemed to be a player diving on the ground and in the way.
I think it would have been a harsh corner. But another great pacey attack again from Leicester.
The ball's with the Sumchanka side. They've got 13.5 minutes to try to get 2 goals. It's going across the back through Miroz again.
Actually, you know, has the Leicester keeper made a save?
I don't know, but I'd really rather not make those speculations at this point in time. So Jess Hickman's out there. She's got Josie Inverdale with her for support. She uses Inverdale, but she wouldn't really wanted to pick that up on reverse. Jess, please put it onto her open side. And that's just a tiny bit slack from Cockayne. Maybe there's a little bit of tiredness creeping in.
Well, it's the first time we hesitate over the ball at the back. For the majority of this game, it's been great ball pace without any hesitation, but
great pace on the ball across the back there, which was good. And unfortunately, Jess Hickman's given that away. But she's looking for, yeah, that's better from Hickman to keep her composure there. Emma Ross is out there, and Emma Ross beats her player, but the Ukrainian is in the way slightly, so she's got to go back into her half now.
The impressive thing from Leicester is that every time they've got a ball carrier, they've always got options, whether it be a short or a long option, forwards or behind. They've always got somebody to pass the ball to, and that's been a really significant attribute throughout their 3 games, but particularly in this game today.
That's nicely played by Joe Hunter, but it's just a little bit behind Emily Kilner. She can't do anything with it at this point in time. That's good work from Leicester getting back. Here's Cockayne moving onto the ball, and she finds Emma Ross, who's got some space. Kerry Whitehead's got some space out here, and Whitehead, she'll go back. There's no point in giving a risky ball away. Goes out to Josie Inverdale.
Not when Sumchanka are putting together a decent press and you look up and you see blue shirts.
And Lucy Barrett and Cocaine don't make any errors back there at this point in time, thankfully. And Josie Inverdale pushes it down the line, and Sumchanka have to put that out. And Emily Kilner turns nicely. And it's Emma Ross on the ball. Emma Ross back to Cocaine. And there's a run being made by Vanessa Hawkins down here on the left-hand side. And she's not past Satoli. Satoli does well. But Satoli's pushed it off. Oh no, Satoli hasn't pushed it off. Kerry Whitehead must have done that. So Stepsenko over the ball. She's just running into traffic. Katie Long gets a clatter, and she's off for 2 minutes.
She didn't even look at the umpire there, did she? She knew. She knew what she'd done.
She knew she'd transgress. So Leicester down to 10 for 2 minutes.
Yeah, she knew from the blast of the whistle that she was walking. But she's off for 2 minutes, but it'll give her a breather. She'll come on refreshed and ready to go again.
And that's a Sumchanka ball. We've got to go back though. And Leicester hopefully will regroup. Everybody's behind the ball in the Leicester team. It's coming out here towards Ferreira. Emma Ross is the player coming across towards her. And that's just gone wide. Leicester eat up a few minutes with this defensive ball.
Being pegged back a bit more though, aren't they? You do feel Sumchanka could draw this game still. The 1-0 cushion is not enough.
1-0 cushion is definitely not enough.
Rest on their laurels.
We're into 10 minutes from the end here. Leicester need to do things like that, draw the fouls, make sure that Sumchanka don't get a chance to relax, and that they keep asking questions of them. That's a great ball to Nessie Hawkins. Nessie Hawkins up against Ferreira. Ferreira comes away with it. Satoli on the ball. Emma Ross does well to Mess Kernos up in midfield there.
Great reverse stick steal, middle of the pitch.
And she's doing a good job of running the opposition. Here's Jess Hickman on the ball. Jess Hickman looking for Josie Inverdale. Good thing about this is it certainly is eating up the penalty that Katie Long is currently serving. Oh, there's a nasty finger injury here for one of the Sumchanka girls. Shows it can be a tough game. Komenko from the Sumchanka side has a bit of a blood injury. Hannah Fair wants to come back on and is holding up the card for Jess Hickman, but I don't think it's been seen quite yet. And Sumchanka go round the back. And Katie Long's back on the pitch. So that suspension is over. Leicester are back to 11.
I can hear the relief in your voice. They were back to 11.
But it remains a situation where the Ukrainians are dangerous. And that's the Ukrainian number 7 is in trouble. And she's got a 2-minuter for a little bit of a rattle there. That's Oksana Ponomarenko is in trouble with the umpire.
Yeah, well, Leicester won't be disappointed by that. Sumchanka still 2 goals to score if they're going to find themselves in the medal match tomorrow. But less than 9 minutes to go now. Still think 2 goals would be a better advantage, obviously, than 1 goal. Oh, we can hear shouts of keep it all around us. I mean,
I'm not too sure why they're shouting keep it, because it's the other team that have got the one player down.
Keeping it's important.
Of course it is, of course it is.
If Leicester give the ball away, then obviously that gives Sumchanka the chance. So
but I did hear a call of run the card down. Well, it's not Leicester that are on the card. It's the other team that have got the card.
No, they're saying run the clock down. I think
run the clock down.
Just take your time.
Run the card down.
No, take your time.
Well, yeah. I certainly don't want to give Sumchanka any hope in this game. There's Jo Hunter on the burst. Oh, and that could have been so much better. Paz Massey was in a good position, but Jo Hunter's pass was a little slack on that occasion.
And read quite well by the Sumchanka defender, and they've managed to create the beginnings of an attack from it.
And Sitoli on the ball. Jo Hunter going with her. Katie Long as well, keeping her company out there.
And you'll see that Leicester to that hard-ball press again.
Yeah. And Josie Inverdale steps up. Josie Inverdale, for me, has been one of Leicester's star players in this tournament so far. And Kerry Whitehead just caught in possession a little there, but it still comes Leicester's way. So here we have Lucy Barrett.
I agree
on
with
the
you
ball.
about Josie Inverdale, but I could mention several more. I think that's been the great thing about Leicester. As a team performance, a team effort, they've been really good so far.
Indeed, indeed. We're looking at less than 7 minutes to go. A 1-0 margin to Leicester at this point in time. And basically, Sumchanka have to force this game. They have to try and get possession back from Leicester. Leicester could, if they wanted to, just keep playing this ball around in the back 23. That's a great ball down the line for Katie Long. Katie Long is going to try and skin Fedoreva.
She was well tackled though, actually.
And it's gone Leicester's way, so we're on the attack here. And nicely picked up by Nessie Hawkins. Lovely play. Has she got a reverse? She's got a bit of a clattering there. And Jo Hunter gets the ball across. Nobody in there for the rebound. Leicester could have really done with somebody there on the rebound from that shot.
From pass from Vanessa Hawkins through her legs backwards. But that was good play again. And even though Vanessa Hawkins was surrounded by 3 blue shirts, she kept the ball and managed to make something of it, actually.
Yeah. She's again has done well, Nessie Hawkins. She's calm and composed. That's unlucky there. Emma Ross trying to put Josie Inverdale in, and unfortunately Josie couldn't keep the ball in. She looks tired. She's worked very hard.
She has, and it's hot, which is great for the spectators, but not so great when you're into the last 5 minutes. Third game in 3 days, and you've played most of that time, which Josie Inverdale has.
So 5 and a bit minutes to go. Kerry Whitehead has done well there, and Leicester win the ball. So under 5.5 minutes now. Nessie Hawkins gets a bit of a breather as Emily Kilner, the young England under-18 player, comes on. Emma Ross is another who's had a fantastic tournament and a very good game again today.
I agree with that. But as I keep coming back to that, this as a team of stars, but they've played as a team, a solid team.
Katie Long to Emma Ross. Emma Ross back to Josie Inverdale. We've got an overload down the right-hand side. Lucy Barrett. Lucy Barrett plays it in. Katie Long gets the touch, and neither umpire is as convinced as Leicester are that should be a long corner.
In the last 5 minutes though, 1-0 up, it's great to see such attacking intent again from Leicester. They are going for the second goal.
Certainly are.
And it's probably the safest way for them to play it. Although, if Sumchanka were to score now, 1 goal wouldn't be the end of the world. A draw would still take Leicester into the final tomorrow.
And that is dangerous. That is dangerous because well played by Barrett and well played by Tyrrell.
Yes.
Sumchanka people think that Barrett took the player out. I don't think.
No, I think she got there first.
She got there first. And lovely spin and turn by Jo Hunter. Can she get anything out of this? She feeds it to Paz Massey, and on the top of the D there, it just doesn't quite run for Emily Kilner. So 4 minutes to go. Cocky Sarah Kane has got the ball. Hannah Fair now coming forward with it. She uses Kerry Whitehead. Kerry Whitehead looking to use Katie Long. Katie Long tries to spin away from Fedoreva, doesn't quite succeed. So it's a Sumchanka ball.
Just going back to that though, great tackle and good touch, girl, but also showing herself to be really alert. Hasn't had to do much, but there when she was called upon, great, confident, assertive kick out of the circle.
Yeah. So we're looking at just over 3 minutes to go. I'm a little bit surprised to see Sumchanka with still 10 outfield players and a goalkeeper. I thought they might have taken their their goalkeeper off and gone to 11 outfield players to try to get themselves into this game. Lucy Barrett going down the line.
That's still an unusual thing to see in hockey, isn't it? It's not the norm, and it does require a brave decision by a coach.
So 3 minutes now. Sticking your neck out. Is this Leicester's game?
Never been a problem.
Okay. You've never looked as though you're sweating in there, Jo.
No, and you know what? If
from
the
the UK.
Spanish side later, if they were to lose, that would still that could put the Ukrainians in for a bronze medal. Couldn't it?
Yeah.
So there are so many ifs and buts depending on all the other results at the moment. The only sure thing
Could
will
you
be,
see Complutense losing to Royal Antwerp?
No. Just trying to be optimistic and look at the options.
So 2.5 minutes to go. We definitely do not want Sumchanka to score at this point in time, because that would lead to the proverbial squeaky bum. And that's played up into Katie Long, and Fedoreva thought it was her. Hannah Fair being very, very calm. There's 2 minutes to go. No point in doing anything stupid. Okay, Fair's on the ball. She's being clattered. That player's just had a 5-minute breather for stick tackling, and she's doing a little bit more.
This is where the
strange.
experience comes into show, though, for the Leicester side.
Yeah.
Not to do anything silly, keep the ball in the channel, not to try and open it up in a difficult part of the pitch, just keep the ball. And we saw this to finish the first half off, and I suspect we'll see it to finish this game.
Yeah, there's a lovely spin there by Hannah Fair to take her away from the tackle, and she and Emma Ross and Kerry Whitehead have got enough nous between them to pretty much keep possession of this ball for the last 1.5 minutes and see Leicester to a well-deserved win. But Sumchanka have it back, and they could still score. I don't think they've got time to score two.
No.
Leicester's ball. Call from Nessie Hawkins, come on, let's play hockey. And here comes Chokolokolenko. And that's been given away to Jo Hunter. So with less than a minute on the clock, can Leicester get a second?
Would be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Probably would be a fair result.
Jo Hunter happy to let it run down into that corner for a long corner for Leicester. She and Emma Ross are over the ball. Emma Ross inviting the challenge from the Ukrainian girl. You hear a little stick rattle there. And 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds to go now. Here's Hunter, but she's adjudged to have obstructed. And Paz Massey wins that ball back, and she's in trouble for being a little too close to the action.
I mean, look at that run from Katie Long.
Yeah,
she's just
wonderful run
the entire
from
width
Katie Long.
and
It's gone harmlessly off the sideline, and with less than 10 seconds to go, this sideline ball will take all of that time, and Leicester will be in the goal.
That run from Katie Long epitomised the spirit of the Leicester team.
What a great result for Leicester. What a good performance as well, though, by Sumchanka.
Yes, definitely.
They always were in that game. They were competitive throughout.
And they contributed to the quality of the game. But Leicester were the better team and worthy winners in the end, I think.
But now into the gold medal match.
Gold medal.
Okay, gold medal match.
Well, what's great is that it's the first time Leicester have hosted anything on this magnitude. Loads of spectators here. They are the home team, and now anybody who supports the Orange team can come tomorrow, 5:30, and watch Leicester final of the club champions trophy.
If you don't finish work till 5 o'clock, sneak out early. Get here at 5:30. If you can get here a bit earlier, come and watch the bronze medal game, because that's going to be a good game as well. I suspect it will be the Spanish side, Complutense, up against oh goodness me, Loreto. I'd forgotten that for a minute. I was nearly putting the other Russian team into the bronze medal game. And then Leicester with a very tough game tomorrow against Izmailova, the Russian champions from Moscow, who are exceptionally tough side.
And of course, if people can't get down to Loughborough University, they can always join us for live streaming.
And we are joined, Jo and I are joined by a smiley Nessie Hawkins. Nessie, do you know a guy called Michael Dodds, for starters?
Yes.
Because he sent us a sarky little message about a nice deflection from you, and suggests that's your distance.
My distance. Yeah, I'm good from about a metre out, and that's about it. So.
Well, that's your second that you scored from the ball back to the injector. You'd obviously thought about how you were going to work your penalty corners, but first of all, a big congratulations. How does the team feel at this point in time?
I think more than anything, we're just relieved, to be honest. Just good to get a win. I feel that we didn't hit our straps again today, but we won, so we're happy, and look forward to tomorrow now.
For the most part, we look pretty solid at the back. It's just occasionally, in terms of attacking options, there were chances there, and we didn't take them.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of breaks and a lot of balls went in front of the goal, and we didn't quite get there, and it's something that we were trying to focus on to get there. We just got two really quick forwards, and people can keep up with them, so we're just a yard off, so need to get some diving practice, I think.
Okay, so looking forward to tomorrow, you've seen a little bit of the Izmailova side, and you know you're going to be in a game.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be tough. Every game that I've had this tournament has been tough, it's been physical, so tomorrow I don't think it will be any different, so we're just going to get out there, get our elbows sharpened, and make sure we're sharp on our feet so they can't hit us. So.
Okay. Well, they've got a couple of players for you to watch out for. The number 19, Sadova, is a really powerful forward, but Leicester's defence has looked pretty solid all along, and you must be very pleased with the form of Steph Tyrrell in goal.
Steph's been absolutely fantastic. She came in at last minute, and you know, she's got a great character. She's got a lot of confidence. So she's done fantastically well. She's really done well. We're proud of her.
Okay, well, please pass on our very, very best wishes to the rest of the team. And here's somebody else who can do that for us. A very smiley Dave Mayer. Happy, Dave?
Fantastic, wasn't it? Played really well.
Well, I think, you know, Joe and I, as old captains of the team, looking back on that, would say that we're very, very proud of that pucker performance there. You'd done a lot of looking at them, a lot of thinking. Short corners in particular, you'd had a lot of thoughts about that. And we got the goal from a short corner, a well-worked short corner.
Yeah, we felt that from the games we watched that it was an area that we could exploit. We felt that they offered us chances. We've refreshed our short corner approach and let the girls make the decisions themselves. And strangely enough, the ones that I called at the beginning all went wrong, and then the one that they called went in. So what do I know? Perfect, isn't it?
Well, Joe and I were watching, and we were a tiny bit surprised in that Josie Inverdale came up onto the strike, and it's been Hannah Fair for much of the season. But Josie kind of like shaped to shoot, and there was that little bit of hesitation, but that was deliberate, wasn't it? That was waiting for Nessie Hawkins to get herself, or Katie Long to get themselves in the position to receive that ball back to the inject.
No. It didn't go quite right, but what we've tried to do is say, listen, if things go wrong, we just think on our feet.
Yeah.
And then we put people in positions that we can make options so that if one call's made, then we can just react and go to another call straight away. So that wasn't the call, but reacted well. It's perfectly how we wanted to do it.
Now, tomorrow, I've already had a word with Ness about trying to make sure that you don't let their number 19, Sadova, have a sniff of the ball, particularly in the top 23. Another player that is good, we've been very good in our central midfield. You're going to have a tough opponent there tomorrow in a woman called Keener, their number 8. I'm sure you're going to look at that and work out ways to combat that. Are you confident about tomorrow's match?
Yeah, we are. And I do appreciate the fact that they've got good players, but I think our focus will be on ourselves, really. And the way that we play. We certainly felt that maybe yesterday we looked a little bit too much at the opposition. Today we really wanted to look at ourselves. And we will be wary of people that play against us, absolutely. And they're a good side and they are the best team in the other group. But we'll promote our skills and our game on them, hopefully.
Well, Dave, we're two very proud people here. Joe, any comments you want to make today?
I just want to say that it's fantastic. It's fantastic to have the home side in a final, and the crowd must have played a part towards the latter end of that game.
Absolutely fantastic with the crowd. The crowd's been great. I mean, the weather helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you just don't want it to be raining. And I suppose we're all a bit worried before the tournament turned up. The World Cup's on abroad and all this, and it's been great, hasn't it? People turning up and supporting us. We weren't expecting the numbers, and they're here. And you do feel as if you've got to honour them. You've got to do your bit for them.
And a gold medal tomorrow would be a great end to your first season as Leicester coach, and would top anything that a certain little brother managed.
Well, I don't know about that, but it would be nice. But we're actually seeing it as a start for something. So this is nice to win it, if we do win it. Hopefully we do, but we want to see it as the start of the next phase for Leicester Hockey Club. That's our focus. It's not a bookend at the end of a story, it's the start of something.
Well, Dave, that's wise words, and big congratulations from all of us, and good luck tomorrow in that final, and we hope you get gold round your neck.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken.
Hello. How are you, Sylv? I'm okay. Lovely to see you.
Are you still talking, Gaynor?
Sylvia, I'm actually still going out live here. You're on live stream on YouTube at the moment. That little kiss I gave you, people will be wondering what the heck that was. They'll be wondering what kind of movie this is. But it's wonderful to see you here. I bet you're very proud as a Leicester fan of seeing a result like that.
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's a joy always to see Leicester play well. And no, they did play well.
And your daughter's here, Jay. Jay, a former superstar from Leicester, and Welsh international player. Good stuff, Jay?
Yes, very good. Nice to see Leicester back in the final where we belong, and hopefully we'll put it off tomorrow and go away as winners, which will be great for hosting the tournament, which I think everyone's done a fantastic job for. All better with the weather as it is today. So
yeah, absolutely wonderful. And we're all very, very proud. I'm just going to have a quick word. I'm just going over here for a very quick word with Mary Neville, who's an international superstar. She'll come back to you. Don't you worry. She'll come back to you. Mary, What did you think of that?
Oh, fantastic. I thought the team played really well. They moved the ball early, the individual skills were excellent, and I was really impressed with Katie Long on the front actually. She's really fast and she's got a lot of flair. So I thought it was, we got the result we needed, and just excellent all round.
I was just chatting to Nessie Hawkins, and we were saying about Katie Long's runs and about how sometimes the opposition wasn't up with them, and Nessie was saying about having two very quick players in Katie Long and Jo Hunter. And of course I can remember trying to keep up with a very fast Leicester forward many years ago. For those of you who might not instantly recognise the name Mary Neville was the captain of the Great Britain side that won the bronze medal in 1992 in Barcelona. And how many seasons did you play for Leicester, Mary? It was quite a few.
11 full seasons.
And probably your last season was the first season where the team ended up with some medals, wasn't it?
1993, I think we won the cup before that, the season before, and I think we were maybe runners-up in the National League that year.
We certainly were runners-up for a good 3 seasons on the trot in the first. And Mary not only was a Leicester star forward, but she was also the coach for a period of time. So, Mary, with your coaching hat on, I don't know if you've seen that Ishmailovo side, the Russian side, but they're very strong. They've got about 9 Russian internationals in the team. Any advice for David Mayer and the team tomorrow?
Well, I thought we created some really good openings today. Obviously, we've got to take our chances, that's obvious. But maybe just occasionally be a little bit more direct. Just in the attacking 25, I thought we were still perhaps moving the ball wide sometimes, and occasionally could just go straight through the middle when it opened up, I thought.
And we have got the skillful players. Nessie Hawkins once or twice I thought, she's going to carve her way through the middle, and she turned and went wide again. So a bit more adventure maybe at times.
Yeah, well, I think we'd win a lot more corners doing that as well, and I think maybe we didn't see the best of the corner routines today. There was a little bit of mis-stopping. Obviously when we hit it we deflected in, which was very good, but I think a few more chances on the corners and we'll score more goals from those.
Great to hear from you, Mary. I don't know whether you're going to get to the game tomorrow. I suppose work might get in the way.
Yeah.
But it's 5:30. You could sneak off early, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'll see. Nottingham Trent could be kind to me and let me out a bit early. Well,
it's great to be here with your old club, and thank you very much for those comments, Mary.
Okay, thanks, Gaynor.
Okay, Joe. Wow.
Well, it's great, isn't it? Leicester, the home team, in the final for tomorrow against Ishmailova, the Russian side. Great performance, and everybody's saying, yeah, they did what they had to do, and that's what they did. They did what they had to do. They did play well. They were the better team. Mary's right, do need to take their chances, but tomorrow, if a big crowd can get here down to Loughborough University to support the Puckers in orange, well, anything can happen, can't it? Can you imagine Leicester winning a gold medal in the first tournament they've hosted? I mean, it's beyond the realm in some ways of our experience and imagination, but it can be done.
It would be a dream. I'm going to stop there, Joe, because I think we're about to get saturated from the sprinklers, the spray that's coming out to water a pitch, a thirsty pitch that desperately needs it. Yeah, I would go move your hoodie if I were you. So, folks, we'll catch up with you later for the match between Complutense and Royal Antwerp. Complutense pretty much guaranteed the bronze medal game. However, they'll be wanting to warm up well for that with a good win over Royal Antwerp, and it's probable that they'll get it. So we'll catch up with you later.